Welcome to Money Matters Hospital, where I have the responsibility of being one of the facility managers. My name's Brian Collins. Some people tend to call me other things if I don't give them the answers they want. I've been asked to tell you the life path that I took that earned me the title of Facility Managers of the Year. Started off at Harvard University, where I began my education receiving an undergraduate degree in facilities management. Entering the workforce, I started at Anosmia LLC, where we processed soiled linens for multiple nursing home chains. Working at this company served my career well by being promoted very quickly, as turnover was high for some reason. While working at Anosmia, I took advantage of our training plan and became a CPMM, Certified Professional Maintenance Manager. This was achieved through the AFE, or Association for Facilities Engineers, advancement. The knowledge in the facilities management area is a must to stay up on today's standards. Knowing this led to the acquiring the CFM, Certified Facilities Manager, which I obtained through the IFMA. This was the International Facilities Management Association, applying many hours of studying and passing the required CFM test. After receiving my CFM, it became apparent that certification was a good stepping stone to move up the ladder. At this time, I decided that sustained train at facilities environment was going to be the next big thing. So I began my SFP, or Sustainability Facilities Professional. That's from the IFMA. Working closely with the healthcare industry, it was apparent that it would be a good career move. Next, I became looking into the CHFM, which is a Certified Healthcare Facility Manager. I set that goal on my plate and I started moving forward. On paper, it looked pretty easy. You just go take a test. As I got into it, it became very apparent that it was more than that. It was 5 different competencies with 20, 23, 27 categories in each competency. So you had to go take all these crazy things, and it was a lot. I finally accomplished that. That was from the American Hospital Association. I accomplished that. I accepted employment at Kevorkian Memorial Hospital. I began my journey through the healthcare facilities management world. It wasn't long before Kevorkian Memorial Hospital went belly up, and I found myself looking for new employment. With my education and credentials, it didn't take me very long to find something. That's how I arrived here at Money Matters Hospital. Where I'm currently employed, there are many different departments to be covered in facilities management. Heating, air conditioning, or HVAC, plumbing, and grounds are what I cover currently. I have 19 people that fall under me. Rob Schneider is our current HVAC supervisor, and he works really great to keep the hot air going. We've got Michael Phelps, who keeps all the plumbing moving. He's our plumbing supervisor. He has several guys underneath him. And then we have John Greystoke, who is our grounds supervisor and keeps things under control out in the yard. We have 3 buildings on our campus here. The largest is our main building at 1 million square feet. And we have 2 smaller buildings. We have an off-site rehabilitation clinic, which is our about 80,000 square feet. In our board on Money Matters here, we decided that we were going to have to design a new building. We tried to use our checklist to make sure we were covering all our bases for all the pieces. It's such a complicated thing to do. Just to check out the flooring, first on the list was types of materials. The decision was made we use high traffic areas and carpet in waiting rooms, tile. Many different thoughts played into this decision. Resistance, ease of cleaning, wear and tear. Longevity of material. There were no requirements for raised flooring or underfloor duct work like that, so we didn't really have to worry about this. And the hazardous materials on the checklist weren't really covered, or didn't really apply, because this was a new construction. Of course, being a hospital facility, handicap and wheelchair accessibility and patient beds being able to move, they were huge on the list. So we went down and we did a breakdown of each of the cost of our initial building. The initial cost was $8.5 million. I've included a breakdown in this readout of the foundation, the structure, the superstructure, for the initial cost of each of those things. Exterior roofing, interior construction, conveyors, mechanical plumbing, HVAC, fire protection, electrical, equipment and site work. As well, for each of those, we have done a study for energy cost and building maintenance cost breakdown. So you'll see each of those in this sheet. Those are things that, as building and facilities managers, we have to provide, we have to bring to the table. People expect for us just to be able to do those. There is a lot of work there. You have to know your numbers. You have to know how they figure out. As we designed this new building, we really tried to follow the evidence-based healthcare design. The model embodies 12 categories. That's something you need to know as a healthcare facility manager. These are really becoming important now. It's all about getting the patient better and quicker and healing time. And a lot of these things, these 12 pieces, really fit into that. One of the first things we considered was the patient's room. Single patient rooms really help the families. They really help the patients get better quickly. So we tried to move everything into single patient rooms. Ergonomics is another thing. We want everybody to be comfortable. We want everything to be close. We want, things to be as handy as they possibly can. These things save a lot of time for workers as well as hospital patients. We conducted studies to purchase the most comfortable things in our facilities. We had to get rid of some vendors that didn't have the right furniture. We really had to change our way of thinking about the furniture and those kind of things. One of the things we did was noise as well. We put an extra layer of sound dampening foam in the walls, or insulation type foam, to keep noise down between the two rooms. There were a lot of things. My ground guys had to really pick it up, and they made some naturescapes outside to allow access to nature and more lighting. In the new building, we have a lot of windows. We want a lot of natural light. When people can see outside, they tend to heal faster. They tend to be in a more positive mood. When we talked about our waiting areas, we really tried to design the waiting areas in a manner that was socially accepting, and people wanted to be with each other and talk, and it was created more of a positive attitude. We also have distractions that are positive distractions. We like to have board games in the waiting rooms. We like to have the pets come around. So within that, we designed a lot of those things into the building. How are we going to do that? How are we going to accommodate for those things to come into the building? So you really have to take a lot of those things into consideration. Obviously, there's things like filtration and ventilation, how to keep positive airflow in certain areas, negative flow in other areas where you want those to happen. Getting on to actual building maintenance, we'll go back to that. We perform really 3 different types of preventative maintenance here. Some done in a certain reach, like preventative maintenance in its most common sense is just as your item reaches X amount of days or X amount of miles or X amount of cycles, however you measure that, you go do a certain type of maintenance. So say a belt lasts for 3 months on some piece of machinery, we have to go replace that. Then there's another, which is like a predictive maintenance cycle, where we know certain things are going to last. Some people say they'll last a certain amount of time, but we found that maybe they last a little bit longer. So based upon how we've seen in the past or measurements, say we know that at certain times, like the air handlers, we do predictive maintenance on those. We have magnehelic measurements that measure the static pressure in the air handlers. When they start tending to move up or down, we know that there's something in that machinery changing or that needs to be maintained usually. So we can go do that. When we designed, we had to change a lot of things with our way of thinking around here. One of the things we've really stepped up to is the green system, or green building procedures, in which here we've created green walls, green facades. We've even done a green roofing, and we laid it out recently on one of our buildings when we had to redo the roof. As well as that, we allowed the patients to move out to the green roof. So that's the newest thing, and that's where things are going. If you really want to get into facility management and be good at it, you need to keep your eye on the horizon and pay attention to what's up and coming. There are so many things to understand and keep in mind. I don't even know where to give you a list to start. You just have to pick it up and start running with the ball, because there's just too much to cover. I hope you have it, and I hope you love your career as a facilities manager.